All right. So, the police officer who killed Daunte Wright, I keep saying Daunte, I'm so dumb, who killed Daunte Wright, arrested and charged with manslaughter. Let's go ahead and look at it.
In jail tonight, arrested and charged with second-degree manslaughter. This is Kim Potter, wearing an orange jumpsuit now instead of a uniform. Potter's arrest comes just 3
I don't know why, but I think it's funny. Wearing an orange jumpsuit now instead of a uniform. I don't know why, but I thought that was funny.
days after she shot Daunte Wright during a traffic stop for expired tags in the Minneapolis suburb of Brooklyn Center. According to the police chief, who has since resigned, Potter thought she was firing her taser, but drew her gun instead by mistake.
I love how the never mind. Like, how do you mistake this for that? Oh, or this for that. There we go. How do you do that? Like, how do you do that? How do you do that? Plus, all their tasers don't look like guns. Like, how do you do that? How do you fucking do that shit? I don't get it. Yeah, maybe if you can't tell the difference, you shouldn't carry a lethal weapon. Yeah, exactly. Also, aren't they literally on opposite sides of your shit so that you know, like, gun, taser? I mean, correct me if I'm wrong. Like, look, how do you... Hold on. As we can clearly see by the body cam, which is somewhat a distorted image anyway. How do you not see that this is a gun? How do you not tell that this is a gun? Also, in the picture that we just saw, the taser was like bright-ass yellow. There is a taser, I'm pretty sure. I'm pretty sure this right here is a taser. I think. So, like... How do you... Also, this force is, like, not necessary. It's really not. It's really not. I don't think this force was necessary. But, see, when you're black, they don't give a fuck. They're just here to bag you or kill you and then go on with their day. They don't give a fuck, all right? She's a 27-year veteran of the force and doesn't know which side to reach for. Yeah, exactly. So, like, she also oversaw officers' misconduct, I think, and covered for them. Yeah, I've heard, like, she's been involved with, like, other shit.
According to the police chief, who has since resigned, Potter thought she was firing her taser, but drew her gun instead by mistake.
This is why you just can't trust white people in general. Not just white men, but just white people in general. Just don't trust white people, okay? I'm joking, by the way.
Learned today from the prosecutor that Potter's taser is yellow with a black grip and was holstered on her left side, while her black handgun was on the right.
You know, I guess I should have just, played the video, because then they would have explained it to me.
So in order to draw her taser, she would have had to use her left hand. But as you can see here, she shot and killed Wright with the gun in her right hand.
And, like, this is the shit we've been talking about, right? How, like, officers see black people, and they're fearful of us. Not even just officers, but just white people in general see black people, and they're overcome with this like birth of a nation kind of like fear of like black people and like dogma and fear of black people. She instinctively reached for her gun. She may have in her mind been thinking of her taser, but she instinctively reached for her gun because he's black. Because that's the reaction that they have with black people. We hear it all the time about how a black man typically will get pulled over and they're like, "Yo, officer, why's your hand on your gun? No need to have your hand on your gun. What's going on, my guy? What's going on, G? Like, what's going on?" Like, it's just it's a reflex for them. It's what they do. It's what they do every fucking time. It's a goddamn reflex at this point. Shocking. I'm not shocked. It's a goddamn reflex at this point. Yeah, muscle memory. It's a literal fucking reflex. I 100% agree. Always lock your car doors around white people. We get away with the most crime. Yeah, I try to not drive around my neighborhood specifically because it's so white. I try not to drive around, or at least I try not to drive around by myself because it's so white. I don't feel safe in this neighborhood. I really don't. I try not to drive around. I pick my nose around cops so that they don't feel the need to pull me over or suspect me of doing anything suspicious. Because as soon as you start acting fidgety or like scared or whatever, they're going to think, oh, I should pull him over. He's probably got drugs in his car. And it's like, no, I'm just acting suspicious because you sus as fuck. Nah, you right. My best friend stopped going to white veterinarians. Oh, hold on. Stop, computer. Stop. I don't need you to pull up the news. Stop it. Oh my god, I hate it when it does this. Anyways, we'll just continue. Like, we don't feel safe. I'm sorry. And like white people, the really sussy ones, the really sussy kind of white people, they'll always get like so in their feelings whenever you're like, hey, I don't really feel safe around white people as a black person. Well, what if I said that I don't feel safe around black people as a white person? What if I said that? Huh? And you're just like, calm down. Calm down, Steve. Calm down, please. Anyway, my best friend stopped going to white veterinarians and saw a massive difference in care. Best friend who is Russian white no longer trusts white vets. Yeah. Okay, see you later. All right, see ya. See ya, nobody. Look forward to seeing more content. Yes, this will be on YouTube. I don't blame you. My town is the same way. Yeah.
We've seen 3 straight days and nights of unrest and protests taking to the streets, and police are now bracing for more demonstrations tonight. NBC's Jay Gray on the ground in Brooklyn Center for us. Jay, what sort of reaction are you seeing to that officer's arrest?
Hey there, Shep. I want to give you a real-time look at the situation here. The curfew's been extended to 10 o'clock tonight from 10 to 6 in the morning. Last few nights, the curfew hasn't mattered. Take a look. The crowd really growing substantially over the last few minutes here, packed with people who say they'll continue.
It's like, it's always, what if the roles were reversed? It is reversed. That's the thing, though. They're not reversed. Like, I'm not trying to like harp on you or anything, but like, they're not reversed. And that's the funny part, is that the roles are never reversed. You can't make a role reversal argument if the two things you're reversing are not equal, and if the roles are just not fucking reversed. You can't make that argument. Like, I push back against Prime. Me and Wiggle pushed back against Prime in last week's all black everything with the whole like what if the role was reversed argument. The thing is, the roles aren't fucking reversed. Like, they're not. Black people are the Second Amendment does not stand up for black people. It does not stand to represent black people. And a lot of the luxuries that white people take for granted on a daily basis are things that we only get like half of. Like, it's like, I don't know what to tell those kind of people. I really don't.
Daunte Wrights. We've got megaphones out here, banners, and a lot of people very frustrated. They're frustrated with what's going on here at the police station. I can show you behind the fence, stepped up security. We got the riot police that have just walked in with their shields, helmets, and batons. As you move across, you can see a sheriff's vehicle here with a gun.
Why? These are for the most part peaceful even if they weren't peaceful. Why? Why is our police force another fucking military? What the fuck, dude? What is this? What is this? The fuck is this? Theoretical situations are never equal to the actual thing. I understand. Yeah, that is true, yeah. But like, I understand what you're saying though. That's why I said I wasn't trying to harp on you. Like, theoretical and like extreme hypotheticals, I think to a degree are important because they test like our logic with shit, but they test our logic, the consistency of our logic.
With a gun.
Like, look at this dude. Dude looks like he just came from Afghanistan and just teleported to America. Like, huh? A few minutes ago I was pointing my gun at tan people. What's going on? Like, NYPD budget is $5 billion more than Ukraine's entire military budget. That's fucking insane. Militarization of the police is the downfall of a country. Yeah, 100%.
Heard at the top and someone actively watching this crowd from below. They are pleased that there have been charges in this case. So is Wright's family, according to their attorney, Ben Crump.
Like, why? Like, okay, hold on. Go back for a second. Go back. So we see these people, right?
So is Wright's family, according to...
What is threatening about these people? The fact there's a lot of them? I mean, if this was The Walking Dead, I guess they'd be a threat. But this is, it's all of the, they're just people. They're literally just people gathered. Nobody has any sort of weapon. I mean, unless you want to consider a phone a weapon, because get all you motherfuckers fired. But, like, get all you police officer motherfuckers fired. But, like, where's the aggression here? All right? Look at the power dynamic here. Look at the power dynamic. Yeah, Black Lives Matter. So fucking threatening. But, like, dude had to be... Unbelievable.
Charged, but they do hope and pray for it.
It's the cameras always spooks the police. 100%. Yeah, it's the cameras. They always spook the police. Yeah. Always spook the police.
That we will get equal justice.
Yeah, what we're hearing out here from the crowd is a charge is one thing, a conviction is justice, and that's why they...
Hold on, dude! Hold on, who was that? Who was that?
A charge is one thing, a conviction is justice.
Yo, they let this shit go up with her in it like that, bro. That was fucking funny. That shit's funny. That shit is funny.
A charge is one thing, a conviction is...
This is what an MVP looks like. Chad MVP. Or I guess she's a woman. I guess Stacy maybe, if she identifies that way. Oh my god. Oh my god. That's funny. That's some funny shit, bro.
Is justice, and that's why they are here to make sure there is justice for Daunte.
She's still there.
They're going to be here.
Oh my god. She's still dead. No. Why is nobody talking about this? I don't think this was... Why wasn't this a meme?
Justice for Daunte Wrights. Say they're going to be here for as long as necessary, Chef.
Jay Gray.
Yo! Also, I don't watch that much TV or news, so, like, maybe this shit happens all the time and I just don't see it, but oh my god! She was like, oh, well, fuck! She was just... Is this person still employed? I need to know if this person is still employed. Like, did they lose their job after this? I need to know if they're still employed. I just need to know. Are you still employed? Are you still employed, ma'am? Are you still employed? I need to know. I need to know if you're still employed.
Hey, thanks very much. Shepard Smith here.
Okay, so. Alright. Let's make myself big here for a second. Alright, so here's the thing. Here's the thing about this whole situation, right? If they aren't doing anything wrong, why would cameras scare them? Yeah, if policing is a public service, everything they do on the job should be public. Yeah, and if you don't want your shit to be public, don't be a fucking police officer, bitch. Bye. Okay, so here's the thing. All right. Verdict on this whole situation, okay? So, the thing is, this is an old broadcast because it doesn't show... Wait, she has an emotional testimony? We should watch this next. We're going to watch this next, okay? So, here's the thing. She was sentenced and it was disgusting. Yeah. My camera's fizzing out right now. Because I need a new one. She got like a 2-year sentence or whatever, when the minimum is like, for like manslaughter, is like 7, and she was charged with manslaughter. Even if it was an accident, okay? She should have been charged to the fullest extent. Because it would send a message to policing that you need to stop being fucking careless with the lives that you're policing. Okay? She should have gotten the maximum sentence possible for what she did. Because what she did was murder. And there's no excuse for it. There's no excuse. There's no excuse. It goes back to the whole Chris Rock thing. Some of our pilots like to land. The others like to crash in the mountains. There's no fucking excuse. There's no fucking excuse, dude. No fucking excuse. I need to hurry up and get this new PC so I can not have these camera troubles. Because, like, my new camera won't work with this PC because it's too powerful. It won't work with this computer and my other shit that I have up. So please donate so I can get this new PC. Please. Please listen to what the judge said. I was literally disgusted. Oh my god, are you serious? Are you serious? Watch what the judge said. Are you serious? Are you fucking serious?
Check this out. I'm going to show you how I afforded this car.
No one cares!
Okay, you ready? All right, 100.
So, I'm going to go now to April 11th, 2021, a Sunday. And you surely remember that day. Is that correct?
Yes.
And you were in FTO that day for Officer Lucky?
Yes, I was.
And that day, what time did you go on duty?
6 a.m.
And was Lucky on duty at that time too?
Yes.
She's wearing total boomer clothes here, by the way, and she doesn't even look that old, but she's wearing total, like, grandma clothes.
And about, what did you do during the morning? If you remember, did you just do drive around police work?
We just did police work. We would have checked a squad car if we wouldn't have had calls right away.
It was a Sunday.
It was a Sunday.
So approximately around 2 o'clock,
It's to make her look weaker? Yeah, it is.
did you pull up in back of, or not you, Officer Lucky was driving the car, right, the squad?
Yes.
And you were the FTO. Where were you seated in the car?
In the passenger seat.
And tell the jury what you remember about first seeing the white Buick on that day, approximately 2 p.m. And
I
talk
would-
slowly.
Officer Lucky and I were driving south on Zane Avenue North. We were talking about pursuit policies, doing some regular FTO training, and he
Yeah, pursuit policies. Like, when you find a black guy, shoot him immediately.
observed a vehicle in the turn lane with the blinker on inappropriately.
And was that the white Buick?
Wait, so this whole shit happened because he had a blinker on inappropriately. You were going to arrest this man for having a blinker on inappropriately. Do I have that correct? So he died because his blinker was on inappropriately. Really? Is this the world we live in? So I could die because, or one of you could die because you have your blinker on inappropriately. Okay.
Yes.
And did you have a conversation with him about that?
Yes.
And what was that conversation?
We discussed a little bit of suspicious activity. He noticed a pine tree or air freshener hanging from the rearview mirror, and the tabs were expired.
Oh, and his tags were expired. Oh my god. So basically, what I'm getting here is that Daunte Wrights just set himself up for murder that day, right? He just fucking set himself up for murder that day, right? Just set himself up for murder. Set himself up for murder. Fucking Christ.
Did you stop that vehicle?
Officer Lucky wanted to stop the vehicle, yes.
And let me ask you a sort of a hypothetical. If you had been working alone that day, on Sunday afternoon at 2 o'clock, would you have stopped the vehicle for... I can't even finish...
What do you mean? What do you mean? It's an honest question, you fuck! What do you mean? He just asked an honest question. If you were by yourself, would you have stopped the vehicle that day? Cops do this shit all the time where they pick and choose and they want to fucking stop. Like when I drive for my company and I use I use the company vehicle, there have been numerous times where I pass cops doing some low-key illegal shit. And they have not pulled me over. Why? Because I have the company logo. I have the logo of one of the biggest companies on the planet splashed across the side of my fucking van. Okay, I don't always do illegal shit, but there have been times where, like, I've driven with my door open and shit. Like, technically shit you're not supposed to do. I don't even think that's necessarily illegal. I just think that's against company policy. I don't know. But, like, I'm pretty sure that's illegal. Like, and drivers do that shit all the time. Like, and I've never gotten pulled over for that shit. And there have been times where I've done stuff that has been illegal on the road and have not gotten pulled over for doing the illegal thing on the road. So, like, what? Okay.
It's a question, Your Honor.
All right.
Yeah, those are all ticket offenses. I'm pretty sure, yeah.
That's not fair. It's simply, they know how to try a lawsuit, I would
Okay.
think.
The objection is overruled. You may answer.
Yeah, overrule it fucking... Well, no. Yeah.
My question was, if you weren't with a field training
Yeah,
officer that
overrule
day,
that fucking
and you were
objection.
on patrol alone, would you have stopped that vehicle?
Most likely not.
And why not?
An air
Because I don't give a fuck. That's why. Because cops don't actually give a fuck about any of that shit. They don't actually give a fuck. They don't care.
freshener to me is not, it's just an equipment violation. And during the COVID times, the high COVID times, the Department of Motor Vehicles was so offline that people weren't getting tabs, and we were advised not to try to enforce a lot of those things because the tabs were just not in circulation.
Okay, but you did stop.
So what she's saying basically is that Daunte Wright died that day for literally no fucking reason. She's literally admitting that Daunte Wright died that day for no fucking reason whatsoever. Like, all of that shit, that everything that happened that day, not even just his death, but him being pulled over, no fucking reason. No fucking reason.
Up the vehicle, right?
Yes, part of field training is that my probationer would make numerous contacts with the public throughout the day.
And what happened after?
Also, I'm sorry for my camera bugging out. Like I said, I did get another one, but it won't work. My computer, it's too powerful for my computer to run with it and like my capture card and everything all together at the same time. And I'm coming through my Xbox and my microphone. Yeah, it just won't.
To stop. If you
So please bear with me. I'm sorry.
remember, go ahead.
Before Officer Lucky stopped the car, he ran the vehicle, confirmed that the registration was expired, and that the registered owner had a petty misdemeanor type warrant for some type of drug offense.
And that was the registered owner of the vehicle.
Yeah.
How much you want to bet it was weed? How much you want to bet it was weed? I'm willing to bet it was weed.
Yes.
So after you did that while you were still in a squad car and not.
Yes, it's part of the multitasking that a probationer will have to do, is run a vehicle license plate, call into dispatch, and initiate their lights.
Okay, and try and talk a little slower.
She sure knows a lot about policing. It would be a shame if she didn't know where the fuck her taser was.
I know you're probably nervous, but I'd like to get all this in. All right?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so you stopped the vehicle, is that right?
Yeah, warrant for some type of drug offense. Yeah.
Officer Lucky initiates the traffic stop.
And what happened after he did that?
The vehicle stopped kind of in an entrance to the church on 63rd, and he got on the PA and told the vehicle to pull ahead just a short distance.
Was that because he was parked in the driveway of the...
Yeah.
Yo, I can't even imagine what was going on in Daunte Wright's head when all this was happening. Cause like even if I'm with my white fiance, whenever we pass by cops, whenever we see cops like on the out and about and out in the street, even though I have nothing to fucking hide or anything, I tense up and I get scared. Because I always question, especially if the cop in the seat is not black. Like, I always question: is this going to be? Am I about to die? Am I about to narrowly escape death here? I question this every fucking time, especially if I'm in predominantly white areas. I question this every fucking time. I'm not even lying to you. I'm not even exaggerating. Unbefucking believable.
And I think there was a vehicle trying to come out, as I recall.
Okay. What happened next?
Officer Lucky and I exited our marked squad car. Officer Lucky walked up to the driver's door, and I stood at the right rear corner of the white Buick.
So you did get out of the car.
Most definitely.
And
my name is Adrian. I'm 34 years old, and I'm actually a producer on the Sonobello.
why did you stand where you were standing?
Part of it was so I could see where Officer Lucky was, and to provide cover to see what else was in the vehicle.
In your experience of 26 years and being a patrol officer all those years, is stopping any vehicle at any time that you don't know, does that be considered a dangerous situation?
Yes.
Why?
Sometimes there's guns in the car, sometimes there's uncooperative people. You don't know who you're stopping.
Yeah, because you don't know, right?
Right.
Even if I stay home, a mirror lock means that I could still die in my bed. Oh yeah, absolutely. But like, I feel like if you live in like if you live in like a predominantly white neighborhood, that's less likely to happen because no-knock warrants don't happen to white people. They don't happen in white areas. They almost always happen in poor, underprivileged POC areas because they know that because the cops know that if they bust that door down and they kill you, nobody's gonna fucking miss you. That's why. They know that they can go in and they can just bust down your shit and clap you in 2 seconds and nobody's gonna fucking miss you because you're a poor inner city person of color. Nobody in this country besides your family is going to give a fuck if you die. Nobody's gonna care. As a matter of fact, they know because of all the people that back them that when they do this shit, what's gonna happen is somebody's gonna try to justify it. Somebody's gonna ask, did he have drugs in his system? Somebody's gonna ask, how big was the gun? Somebody's gonna ask what was his dick size? Like what did he do? What was his criminal record? Was he a perfect child growing up? Was he an angel? Did he fling a pencil across the room back when he was in the 3rd grade? Did he skip school once? They're gonna ask you every single goddamn thing. And unless the pearly gates of heaven, if you believe in that shit, were to open up and accept you with open arms without any stipulation, unless the pearly gates of heaven were to instantly open upon sensing your soul, those motherfuckers will say that you deserve to fucking die. Even though the cops were completely in the wrong, they came in your shit, they busted your shit down, and they clapped you on your fucking futon, my guy. That is why they do that shit, because they 100% fucking know. If no-knock warrants happen to white people, there would not be any back the blue shit, all right? If no-knock warrants were to actually happen to white people, back the blue shit would not be a fucking thing, okay? 100%. Like, in the neighborhood that I deliver to, there's all kinds of pro-Trump, pro-police shit all up and down, all over that fucking neighborhood. But you know what? I maybe see a maximum of 2 police officers a day in that fucking neighborhood. But you know what? When I go down to a neighborhood, a predominantly black POC area, there's not even a single back the blue flag, but there's a cop around every goddamn corner. But anybody who's familiar with Cincinnati, fucking Winton Terrace, in Winton Terrace there's a cop around every goddamn corner. But there ain't no back the blue out there. There ain't no motherfucker with some back the blue shit, some Blue Lives Matter, thin blue line flag hanging outside their window. Do you know why? Because it is so easy to back the blue when they do not have their neck on you. That should be a merch line. That should be a shirt. I might make that a shirt. Yeah. It's so easy to back the fucking blue when the blue ain't got their neck on you. Shit pisses me the fuck off.
So, while you were standing there, and rear of the vehicle. Did you hear what Officer Lucky said?
I could hear parts of the conversation. He didn't seem to be in any distress when he was asking questions. He took out his notepad.
I said neck, didn't I? I meant to say knee. I meant to say knee. Fuck, I'm so stupid. Yeah, when they don't have their knee on you. Yeah.
And it looked like he was writing down something which would end up being a name and a date of birth.
Okay, and after he did that, did you two go back to the squad car?
Yes.
And at some point in time during the stop or right after it, did Officer Lucky do anything in connection with obtaining another squad car?
Yes, he called for a second car to come.
What is that about? What?
It would just be a backup officer. The registered owner had a warrant of some nature. It wasn't a bad warrant. It was just a regular petty warrant, which would still, you'd want a second.
So you admit that you stopped him and you killed him for petty shit.
Officer. Or I guess in this case, a third officer. Officer Lucky and I are considered only one officer.
And why are you and Lucky just one officer?
Because he's in field training and he's a probationary employee.
All right. So,
yo, what the fuck? Does anybody else find that really weird? Okay.
Did the third officer, Officer Johnson, arrive at some point in time?
Yes, Sergeant Johnson arrived.
And was that before you looked up in the computer about this driver of the vehicle, or after?
I don't know exactly when he arrived. I know Officer Lucky and I were discussing running the name he was given through some various systems.
Okay, and did you do that, you and Officer Lucky?
Yes.
Was there any correction that you told him about during this time that he shouldn't have put the name in one?
He had gone to the Minnesota because the driver didn't provide him with any government-issued ID. He would have to verify some information to run him properly in our system through TriTech. So you run them sometimes through Minnesota DBS with just a name and a date of.
What is it? What is this broadcasting company upload? Is Care 11? She remembers everything Daunte did, but nothing she said or do. 70% of the comments. As a retired police veteran, 30% of the comments. She is faking her emotions. See? My comment. She looks like a damn Karen. So she has 20 plus years experience, yet can't tell the difference between her gun and her taser. Yeah, 100%. Not a single tear. Wouldn't even say his name. Oh, yeah. No tears when crying? That's called acting. Yeah. Kyle Rittenhouse shit. I remember hearing her say, I'm a good person. Not gee whiz, I hope he's okay. Taser. Then I paused for 4 seconds, then fired my metal heavy gun with no light or power switch. Man, you can't make this fucking shit up.
Birth, it'll give you a sound X hit on various people with that either same name or common name with a date of birth.
So did you correct him on that?
We were talking about, I don't know if I corrected him on it, but.
So what happened after that?
He would copy the OLN, which is a driver's license number, off the screen and then put it into our TriTech system or CAD, and that would run him through the state for driver's license and warrants and other hits.
And did you find anything about the driver?
The driver came back with a suspended driver's license, gross misdemeanor, bench warrant for weapons, and protection order.
So...
Okay. I don't give a fuck. I don't give a fuck about any of that shit. That does not mean that he needed to die that day. Hold on. I'm going to go back to the comments. I want to see if anything is... Oh yeah, see, so here, somebody being based with my very take. My thing is, even if this truly was a mistake, emojis, you still have to be held accountable. That right there, take that, print it out, bathe it in gold, and put it on a wall. You can't make a mistake and take someone's life because it can't be given back. If an ordinary citizen accidentally shot and killed someone, we are going to jail. Another thing is, an officer can't shoot someone just because they are resisting. Yeah. want to see some of these replies. I bet you somebody's like, yes, they can. Exactly, 100%. And a lot of people have resisted in they are still alive, but they were taken to jail, not executed like Daunte Wright was. Or you're making this proclamation. Oh my God, here we go. Remember this part, how Kim, Daunte, and other officers get to the point to where she decided taser force was necessary. Remember Dante's behavior too? Fuck you, dude. Fuck you. I'm laughing at you, SMH. Oh yeah, this person's laughing at this person, of course. And it's always people like, it's always the nerds, yo. I fucking hate my own communities. It's always the fucking nerds that with like the nerdy profile pictures that have the dumbest and the worst fucking takes. The worst fucking takes. Didn't we see this episode before with the killer Pokemon claiming self-defense? Yeah, not buying that movie. Yeah. By the way, a taser's not a gun. She isn't actually crying. Yeah. Okay, I'm actually surprised with a lot of these comments. Holy shit. Especially considering the fact that she literally just like spread the cheeks of his fucking criminal record.
A gross misdemeanor for a weapons ordinance. What went through your mind, if anything, when you read that?
It would be concerning that there'd be a weapon on the person or in the vehicle.
And why would that be?
In my experience over 26 years, I have found guns in cars, either by accident or by them just being sitting out in plain view.
And what about a person with a weapons warrant?
They're more likely to be carried.
Wait, who just has a gun just sitting in their car in plain view? I mean, maybe hillbillies, and that'll be like a rifle, like a shotgun or some shit. Like, okay.
A weapon or have a weapon.
I don't know. I'm not a police officer, but that seems kind of fish.
So, what about the temporary, was it a temporary restraining order that came up? Was that it?
Yeah, I think they're called ex parte orders. It would be a temporary protection order until the parties would either have a court hearing in front of a judge to make it a permanent order.
And there would be a name of a female on that?
Yes, there was.
And was there a female in the Buick or in the automobile that was stopped?
Yeah, in the front. Yes, in the front passenger seat.
So after you learned that
he could have had a gun, and he could have had a gun in the car. There are more guns than human bodies in America, and owning a gun is legal. Yeah. The whole idea, like, oh, he could have a gun. Obviously, this is fucking America.
did you also learn something? Did Officer Lucky tell you something about drugs or marijuana?
When he initially got back to the car, he told me there was a obvious smell of marijuana and some seedlings or shake residue on the center console and inside the vehicle.
Okay. So with all of that information, what did you do next?
I got a question. When was the last time you heard this type of talk about a white person that gets pulled over? Even though white people and black people consume marijuana at about the same rate. Like, I never hear this kind of talk about, like, oh, we had marijuana, or we thought we smelled weed. I never hear this type of talk. Like, hardly ever when white people are concerned. Oh, wait, that's right. White people don't get pulled over by cops.
Officer Lucky explained to Sergeant Johnson what was going on.
Before anybody watching this on YouTube decides to, like, you know, refute me with, like, a study or some shit, I understand that more white people were shot by police than black people. We're talking about, just so you know, when we talk about black people getting shot by a police officer, we're talking about proportions, okay? A, B, I still rarely ever see white people be questioned. Like, the first thing that you go to is, oh, this person's on drugs. Oh, this person's got drugs. This person's got marijuana.
Am I correct?
Where was Sergeant Johnson? Was he in your squad car?
He was standing at my passenger door.
Go ahead.
Yeah, she's absolutely determined to paint him as a criminal. Yeah, because she knows that's her only fucking defense. Because of how screwed our justice system is. She knows that's her only way of getting out of this is, like, proving that he's a criminal. So that she can get all the Back the Blue supporters to be like, she did nothing wrong. She was not right. He was no angel.
And Officer Lucky was explaining to Sergeant Johnson what was happening and what he wanted to do. Officer Lucky only told Sergeant Johnson that he had a warrant and I told Officer Lucky that he needed to tell Sergeant Johnson what the warrant was for. A weapons violation warrant would be cause for care and concern.
All right. And after that conversation, what happened, if anything, next?
We got out of the vehicle. Sergeant Johnson was going to the passenger side. And
Excuse me, don't let me interrupt you. Back up a little, I'm getting ahead of me. What was the plan when you got out of your vehicle with Lucky and Johnson was outside? What was your plan?
The plan was for Officer Lucky to get the driver into custody for the warrant, and we'd further investigate with the female who she was and if she was the petitioner or the subject of the restraining order.
You know, my wife's like, "What'd you do?"
It's like crack versus cocaine. They are the same drug, but will be prosecuted differently. It's so insane and entirely based on race. Oh, yeah,
After, 6 months of doing this, she's seeing all the changes that are happening. And she says, "I want to do this."
Yeah,
Yeah,
I'm
man.
waiting for it.
Yeah, she's lost like 30 pounds.
If you're trying to lose belly fat,
Were you required by policy and law in learning about that warrant to arrest the driver of that car?
Yes, it was an order of the court.
And with respect to the restraining order, or whatever you called it, did proper police procedure that you knew of for 26 years required to find out who that lady was?
Yes,
And why would that be?
it's my duty to find out who she is to make sure she's not in harm's way. There's been times when that hasn't happened and somebody has ended up killed because that wasn't followed.
So now we're at the Buick, it's a Buick car, white car, is that
It's a
right?
white car.
And now we're at the white car, and you three went up to it, correct?
Yes, Sergeant Johnson went
Where-
to the
where did
passenger
Johnson
side.
go?
He went up the passenger side to provide cover.
And what does provide cover mean?
Keep an eye on the occupants of the vehicle, and just to monitor what's happening outside in the world. See if people are walking up on you or things go wrong.
And where were you located?
I was towards the left rear corner of the car.
And where was Officer Lucky?
He was advancing to the driver's door.
And how, by the way, before this, how long had you known Officer Lucky?
I think we were on our 5th shift.
And he was pretty new arrival, was he? Or,
I believe he was in 2nd phase maybe, but he had been a
Also, this is like just highlighting another really big problem with policing, and that's the fact that these motherfuckers go out and murder people because they're not fucking trained. And they're trained by, trained murderers. Like,
police officer before.
okay, what does second phase mean?
He wasn't in his initial 4 weeks. He was in the start of his second 4 weeks.
And you testified you knew at least back then that he had come from another police department, correct?
Yes, I think he worked at 2 previous agencies, and he was an explorer.
Okay. Now let's go back to when you three arrived at the white car. We've already said where you're located. Officer Lucky was at the driver's door, is that right?
Yes, he would have been standing behind the post between the driver's door and the rear passenger door.
What do you mean by that, standing behind the post?
He wouldn't have been directly in front of the door because that would be unsafe approach.
And was this a warm day? Was the window down? Remember?
it takes more time to be trained professionally to be a maintenance worker than to be a cop. I believe 37 states do not require immediate training before you can work as a cop. A lot of those states allow you to behave in official police capacity without training for up to... Yeah, and you know what it is? Because the cops are not actually to protect people. They're to protect property. That's what they're for. They're to protect property. They're to protect... It's like what Sacco said in fucking Bo Burnham, right? They protect the interests of the pedophilic corporate elite. That's it. That's all they're for. It doesn't really take much training for you to do what they want you to do, and that is oppress your fellow poor and working class individuals, like and you know, beat up on minorities and shit. Doesn't really take much training to fucking do that. Really doesn't. More time to become a cosmetologist than to be a cop. Yeah, property elite. Yeah, 100%. Because they're just trained thugs. That's it. Trained goons.
I don't know if the window was down or not.
Okay. But in any event, where were you standing again?
At the left rear corner.
And did you hear what Officer Lucky said?
Yes, I heard him ask the driver to step out of the vehicle a couple of times.
And did the driver step out of the vehicle finally?
Finally, he asked Officer Lucky a couple of times what was going on, and Officer Lucky said he would explain to him.
When he got out of the car?
Yes.
And so did the driver get out of the car?
Yes.
And what do you remember happening next?
Officer Lucky had him turn around, and I think he was still asking what was going on. Sergeant John.
Who's he?
The driver.
Go ahead.
And Sergeant Johnson and Lucky told him he was under arrest, and I told him he had a warrant.
Okay, so who said he was under arrest first?
Sergeant Johnson, I believe.
Can't remember what she did clearly, but remembered everything about the victim in his past. Yeah, that's what somebody said in the comments. That's what somebody said in the comments of that video. Yeah, she can't remember. She can't remember her own shit, but she could. But she was able to just like make a rap song about his fucking rap sheet. Like,
and Sergeant Johnson testified here. You remember that?
Yes.
And after he said that, did Officer Lucky say he's under arrest too?
Yes.
And you heard that?
Yes.
And what did you say then?
I told him he had I told him he had a warrant.
You just said warrant?
I think so.
you think so or you know? Like, because this is just proving the points that have been made before about you not knowing your own shit, but you know his shit by like muscle fucking memory. But yet you couldn't know where your taser is just to apprehend this subject effectively. Even though I would go on to say that I don't really think that much force was necessary. Maybe.
Did you specify what kind of warrant, if you remember? If you don't,
I don't think I would have.
Like, if you're gonna use force, right, and you feel like force is necessary, use the least lethal kind of force. Whatever. I'm not a gun.
My normal.
My God.
Okay, so what happened after Johnson and Lucky said you're going to be handcuffed or you're under arrest, and you said that there was a warrant? What happened next?
Officer Lucky had him put his hands behind his back, and I noticed that in the driver's right hand was something. It was paper or something, and I took it out of his hand and had it in my left hand.
And you had that in your left hand?
Yes.
And then what happened next? Strike that. When you did that, I take it you got closer to the driver?
Yes. I reached into the driver's hand and took out what he had in his right hand.
Right hand or left hand?
His right hand, and I held it in my left hand.
Okay. And what happened next?
Officer Lucky started to say something about, don't do that, don't tense up, stop doing that. And then it just went chaotic.
Wait.
Remember?
He told him, don't tense up? Wait. So, and this is another thing that I find really funny about policing. Actually, I don't really find it funny. I find it utterly fucking disgusting. Is how, like, these people are like armed war dogs, right? They're like fucking, they're decked out. They're like kitted up and everything, and they have the nerve to act so uncivilized and like fucking barbaric around you, while expecting you, the person who might not even have so much as a knife on you to defend yourself with, to be perfect. Don't tense up. The fuck you mean?
What were happening after that?
I remember a struggle with Officer Lucky and the driver at the door.
Like, if you're not tensing up around officers, you dumb. Or you're just insanely fucking privileged.
The driver was trying to get back into the car.
Well, he was trying to get back in the car. What did you do?
I went around Officer Lucky as they're trying to get back in the door. I'm between the door and Officer Lucky and the driver. And the driver's getting into the car.
And what happened next?
They're still struggling, and I can see Sergeant Johnson and the driver struggling over the gear shift because I can see Johnson's hand and then I can see his face.
And you knew Johnson for many years before this?
Is this when she tries to cry? Because, like, she just looks ugly at this point. Like, it's not even, like, it doesn't even look like she's actually trying to cry. These are just crocodile tears. Don't try to start crying now, lady. Come on. Come on.
Right?
Yes.
And by looking at his face at that point in time, what did you interpret it to mean?
He had a look of fear on his face. It's nothing I...
She's trying so hard to cry. With the rapid blinking, she's trying so hard to cry.
seen before.
They're zooming in on her cry!
Did you say anything when you saw this? What did you do?
We were
I can't... Yo, I can't believe what I'm seeing. These people... The cameraman is, like, zooming in on her crying. Oh... Or crying. Oh my god. This shit is fucking hilarious.
We're trying to keep him from driving away. It just went chaotic.
No! That shaking was so fake. That was so fake. That was so fake. Yeah, worse than Rittenhouse. Like...
And then I remember yelling, taser, taser, taser. And nothing happened. And then he told me I shot him.
He didn't tell you you shot him. You said it. You said you shot him. I saw the look on it. Yeah, it was like I saw the look of fear on his face, and I was just like, I guess I should shoot him. Well, I don't fucking know. I guess he's clearly scared. I guess I should blow his head off. Like, what was that? That was barely even a dab. I got her on the best part. I got her on the best part, dude. That's funny. That's funny. That was barely even a dab with the what is, I almost said napkin. The tissue. Like, oh man. Oh man. If I had tried some shit like this with my parents, I would have had my ass beat. I would have my ass beat. How dare you fake crying? I would have had my ass beat, my guy. Yeah, the tissue, there was like no time for her to put anything on that fucking tissue, yo. That tissue was dry as shit.
Can you proceed or...
Yes, it's fine.
Okay.
Yeah, because you're not actually fucking crying.
After the driver said you shot him, do you remember what you said? Or do you, if you don't remember, did you look at the video and see what you said? Or do you actually remember what you said, I guess is my question. Not.
We remember, because we just saw the video. She said, oh my god, I shot him. She gonna pop a hernia. She better stop. Yeah, she better stop. She gonna pop a hernia.
I don't remember what I said.
And what do you remember next, if anything?
They had an ambulance for me, and I don't know why. And then I was at the station. I don't remember a lot of things afterwards.
This is the prosecutor. I'm pretty sure the guy talking is the prosecutor.
Do you remember saying something about prison?
No.
If you did say that, do you have any idea now why you would say that?
No.
Was the climate back then about police officers a little rough?
The objection is sustained.
All right.
What?
You don't remember saying it,
No.
and you don't know why you said it.
No.
Do do you remember the response that our Sergeant Johnson or Major Johnson gave you?
No.
And when next do you remember what happened, if anything, if you remember?
I remember getting an ambulance, and then I was at the station.
Okay.
Wait, what? You just teleported? Did you black out? Like, what?
And you remember being in the ambulance, arriving at the station?
No.
You don't remember
Oh my god.
the station?
I remember getting to the station.
Once you got to the station, do you remember what happened next?
The next thing I remember is Officer Fricky was in the room with me
And where were you located? Do you remember that?
in the front office.
Okay. In the front office room, do you remember, were you sitting down, standing up?
I was on the floor.
And after that, at some point in time, did your husband show up?
Yes.
At what time do you believe, from back there, April 11th, at what time do you believe that your memory came back to you?
Aren't we supposed to cancel her when she walks through the door?
What?
You're canceled.
Why?
I don't remember, but me and my chat decided to cancel you.
That's rude.
Yeah, you're canceled.
Well, then I hope you enjoyed this letter from the state police.
What?
Probably
What'd I do?
when my husband got there. So much of it is missing.
I'll have to open
If
that.
you're trying to lose belly fat,
Buy more gummies?
Huh? No, I didn't buy more gummies. Those were already in the bag. I bought them together. Anyways, I'm gonna listen. I'm gonna look at this letter that I got from the police. I'm probably gonna get arrested. I don't know.
Babe,
What?
this bag was empty yesterday.
I had two. I bought two of the same thing. I've also, that's the end of the video. I thank you guys for coming on and watching. I'm pretty sure this isn't anything. I'm pretty sure.
They're probably just
Diet
like,
Mountain-
hey, join the police academy.
Oh yeah.
That's what
Oh yeah, that's right. We canceled you over buying Diet Mountain Dew instead, or buying zero sugar Mountain Dew.
You don't need any more sugar.
You hit me with the hard part of it.
Oh, I'm sorry.
What is that? Is that a warrant for my arrest? What is?
Oh, they want you to donate to them.
You know, as I did this, you know what? I'm glad I got this on stream. Fuck these guys. You know what?
It's the Fraternal Order of Police of Ohio. They're asking you for donations.
They're asking me for donations. It's funny because we were just going over police as you walk through the door. This is gold. This is fucking gold. This is hilarious. This is hilarious.
Is your ear bothering you?
This is fucking hilarious.
Why didn't I get one? Like,
Cause they sent it to me ironically because
is it
I'm
just
black.
a men's club?
Cause I'm black. They sent it to me ironically because of my black ass. That's
You
why.
should show chat that Tasha is behind you.
Oh yeah, Tasha's behind me. Oh wait, they can't see because of Oh wait, no, there she is. There she is. There's Tosh. Are you going to the trip to DC with Joe? No, I can't. Paige and I aren't going.